as promised, we got Phil next. In fact, How to Get Out of the Rut Race. And it's a very interesting book because reading between the lines, it's like you have to get yourself into a rut to get yourself out of a rut to experience what life is all about. You got to think outside the square. And we've got Phil on the phone right now. Good morning to you, Phil. How are you?
Good, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, good. And thanks very much for getting out of bed nice and early. Melbourne weather looking good this morning, is it?
Yeah, nice and fresh. Wakes you up.
Yeah.
To get out of bed.
It certainly does. Now, how to get out of the rut game. And we always seem to fall into a rut eventually in life, don't we, Phil?
Yeah, and it's actually an ongoing process. It's not like you get out and that's it. Because it's a state of mind, really. It's when you lose touch with your passion, your purpose in life.
So can you actually work out, I suppose we all know when we're in a rut, don't we? And I suppose we have to discover our strength and focus on how to get out of it, do we?
Yeah, well, a lot of times we don't know we're in it. That's the thing. Until we step back and it's a moment of self-awareness to realise, hey, look, there's probably more I could be doing with my life. I'm not feeling that drive, that motivation, that passion.
Okay, so the power of the unconscious mind, how do we actually get it to work for us?
Well, the first thing to do is have a clear purpose of what you want to achieve with your life. What's your passion? What is it you want your life to be about? And it doesn't mean you have to change career or anything like that. It's just to have a clear intention.
Oh, okay, so there's another chapter here, Think Less, Do More. So what are you saying? Instead of doing 10 jobs, just concentrate on your top 3, or what's the message here?
Well, that mainly is to, once you work out what you want, set some goals, come up with a plan of how you're going to achieve it, and then get into action. So it might be just the things like say a hobby you have that you really enjoy doing, but you don't get time to do it, or you put it off.
Yeah.
So work out how you can bring more of that into your life and get into action about it rather than thinking about it one day. Like writing a book. A lot of people say, I want to write a book one day. Make it happen.
Make it happen. Just do it. Put it on the bucket list and make sure the bucket list is, worked on before it rusts, eh?
That's it, yeah.
I like this line, and I'm reading through the book. I flicked a few pages over, break through the breakdown zone. Not expecting a breakdown and not dealing with breakdowns effectively is the main reason that most people do not achieve their desired outcomes. I mean, that is so true, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, because the thing is, like, we get excited about something, we work out what we're going to do, we get into action. And then, of course, life throws us hurdles, difficulties. Things don't work out the way we want them to, and that's where most people tend to give up. But it's all if we can be aware that it's all part of the process. Hurdles will be thrown up to us, and it's all part of the process. Without having that breakdown, what I call a breakdown, the hurdles, we're not going to have a breakthrough, and it's just a matter of keep going. Find a way to just keep going, hang in there, and something will shift.
Yeah, you're right. And look, I tell you what, should we tell the chicken and pig story?
Oh, yeah, if you want to, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. Sounds like you enjoyed it.
I mean, I did. Do you mind if I read it?
No, go for it.
Yeah, on a lighter side, here's a story about the chicken and the pig. This is about people in a rut and always, thinking... And you should always be thinking outside the square, I reckon. There was a chicken and a pig walking down the street. They saw a sign that said, egg and bacon breakfast for $5. The chicken puffed up her chest and said, without my contribution, the breakfast would not be possible. The pig turned to the chicken and said, yeah, for your just contribution, for me it's total commitment.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So, you really do have to think outside the square and start enjoying life. One of my favourite sayings is, every day above ground is just fantastic. And unless you're doing something thoughtful or meaningful, what's the point of getting out of bed?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and like the pig, it takes 100% commitment, total commitment.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly does. And I like your final challenge for people to think about. They can read that when they get the book, How to Get Rid of the Rut Race. Now, where can we buy this book, Phil?
Well, it's available in certain bookstores, but otherwise people can go to my website if they want and purchase it there, and I'll sign it for them.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, give us the website.
Yeah, it's www.philschibeci.com.
And that's Schibeci, Schibeci.
Yep, that's it.
.com. And you'll sign the book and post it out.
Yep, I'll do that. Yep.
Yeah, okay, mate. It's congratulations. It's a good read. It sort of makes you think outside the square, which is good. And just when you think you're sort of bored with life, pick up the RUT book. And Phil will get you back on track. Mate, thanks very much for talking to us this morning.
My pleasure, Michael. Thanks for having me.
It's 22 and a half minutes past 6.